Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the books that I'm going to be reading in March. So I have actually very exciting options. Let's start with a series that I really want to continue, and that would be the Lunar Chronicles actually, which I know like who is reading Lunar Chronicles now because it was super popular, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, but I never got there at the time, so I'm reading it now, and I'm very happy actually to own the copies of like the new reworked covers. I think they're so stunning. But anyway, I've read all of them, and this is the last one that I'm missing, and I'm actually really enjoying the series so much. I mean, of course it's very YA, but it's, I feel, like YA at its best, and I really have a soft spot for retellings and especially like stories that have also been adapted by Disney and things like that. So very excited about this, and now I already know a little bit about this character, so I'm very eager to know more of her and to see how everything is just going to basically develop and arrive to a conclusion. And I'm definitely very looking forward to a happy ending, which hopefully since it's YA will happen. But yeah, I'm very looking forward to seeing how, and just we have to admire this floppiness. And also, oh no, that is definitely a spoiler. I'm not going to show you, but they have nice art here in the inside, and yeah, it's always like a scene in the book that I just saw something that is a bit spoilery, but it's fine. I had already predicted that that's where the story was going to go. It's just, you know. Anyway, and then other series that I want to continue is again a 2010 throwback series, which is the Cassandra Clare books, and I have already read 1 into 3 of City and Bones, and then I'm reading it in the order that Cassandra Clare recommended it reading, and then I read Clockwork Angel, and I have to read Clockwork Prince, and I very much avoid all spoilers, so I'm not sure what's gonna happen at all, but I do know that it appears, this book, in many books of like most hyped books or most memorable romantic books and things like that, so I'm really hoping that it will be romance heavy, and I definitely have my sights on, because it's said that this series is like a love triangle of sorts. I don't fully see it, like I see maybe what they say, but I think that there's definitely one OTP for the protagonist, so I really hope that it develops in this one. And the end of the first book was very promising in that aspect, so yeah, hoping to read this one and continue with this series. And then another series that I'm reading but I'm not as eager to read is The Witcher, and this is just mainly because it's not mostly generally my genre. Like I very much enjoy more the fantasy in terms of romance and perhaps YA or adult, but I don't know, this I feel it's more of a just war, and I just, it's not that I don't like the war aspects or the fighting, I like it, I just want that to be a small part of it, and then the biggest part, the character development and the relationships, etc. So this is a bit of the opposite, but it does have as well some relationship development in there, mostly of the like family type, which is also very nice. But yes, this is The Time of Contempt, which is like the second book if you count the novels, but it's actually like the fourth book if you also read all of the prequels and short stories that come before. And I've read the fourth book that I will be reading. So yes, we watched the show recently, and I hated it actually, the second season, because I absolutely adore the first season, but I hated the second season, so now I'm even less eager to read about this. But at the same time, it's like very short, and my boyfriend is reading it, and we're reading it together, sort of, so I really just have to get on with it and just read it so I can proceed. It's like 320 pages. It's like totally doable compared to the other beasts that I read normally, so. Okay, and that's all of the series continuation. Then I want to read like some contemporaries and things to switch it up, because that's very much fantasy-like. There is one here that, I don't know if you can see this. Oh, it's super weird. I gave from my mom, like one of those useless things. And I basically have read this one, have read this one, have read this one, have not read this one, and have read this one and this one. So basically you can see from everything here, there's only one missing. So I kind of just want to read it so that I can have read all of this part. And that is this one, Anxious People by Frederick Backman, and I already read a book by this author, which is A Man Called Ove, or A Man Called Ovi, I don't know how you pronounce it in English, but it's basically about this old man very, very cranky and grumpy living in Sweden and his story, and I absolutely loved it, and I love this author, and I have heard, oh yeah, it's here, I might call Ovi. Oh, I really want to read this book by him, and also, it's just there's something about the fluffiness that's just, anyway, very satisfying. So I'm really hoping that I would get to this book so that I can finish this. Then other contemporaries, especially the romance type, are the ones that I want to read. And I have this thing. Where I have put here on this area my most anticipated, but also my 5-star predictions in terms of the most beautiful romances, the ones that are recommended the most by everyone, and the ones that I have already read some of and I really liked. These are basically the options, and this is like the best, the most beautiful whole of contemporary romance that I have ever seen in my life. And let's break it down. Like, this one I have read, and actually it's not that good. I just really like the cover, because also I painted the edges myself. Isn't that great? It looks so nice. It's like this soft pop purple, and it goes so well with the pink and the purple that it has at the bottom. But anyway, enough about that. So I didn't like this one, but these are the other ones that I think are top notch. And of these ones, I have read this. This is not in order, by the way. I'm sorry, that bothers you. It's been bothering me ever since I put it there. I've read Chloe Brown, loved it, 5 stars. I could just need to continue with the series. And I have read The Hating Game twice, because I read it and then the movie was coming, so I read it again and loved it so much. I almost want to read it again, like both of them. So I'm left with this ones. Oh, this one doesn't fit here actually. This is not like, and I've also read it, but it's not contemporary romance. It just fits with the height. There's a reason, okay? But anyway, so there are these ones. This I think perhaps would be the least good out of all of this stack, but still very good. And it's maybe the reason why I would read this one first. I don't know why. I just always leave the best to the last, but just not sure that makes sense. But yes, still, I've heard very good things about this one, so very eager to read it. And then the 2 continuations of Chloe Brown, and I'm pretty sure this goes this one first, and then this one. I have to read them. Super excited. And then The Love Hypothesis, which is basically going crazy on TikTok and everything, and it's just the premise of it. Perfect, exactly what I like. It reminds me a bit of the Kiss Quotient, which is also one of my favorite books, and I just really want to read about nerds falling in love, and it's just amazing. And then this one, which I mean, it's not only like very well liked, it's on top of like a new favorite book of so many people that I just really have to read it. So perhaps this one is the one that I'm most eager to read of this bunch. Not saying that this is the one that I'm going to read, that's a problem. But yeah, anyway, please tell me, like, which one should I read? Help me decide. Help me make up my mind and finally read something of this bunch. Tell me if you feel the same about leaving the best books to last. But at the same time, like, then why do I spend time reading things that are not the best, right? I don't know. Just help me choose, please. But basically, at least one of those I'm hoping to read when I feel in the contemporary type of mood. And so that's gonna happen. And you're probably gonna see these books a lot more in the next months that I'm gonna be reading, because I'm definitely gonna go through all of them since they're so anticipated. Yes, then after that, I always I speak several languages because I'm obviously not English native, as you can tell. I'm Spanish, and I also am from Catalonia, so I speak Spanish and I speak Catalan, and I went to French school, so I also speak French, and then obviously English. But in terms of my reading, I only read English in English, because at the beginning that's how I learned, and it was amazing because I learned so much. But now, you know, I only read in English, and that's completely okay, because I don't know why, but most literature is in English. But I thought it would be very nice to try to read at least one book in a different language other than English a month. So that's what I'm going to try to do. At the same time, though, the books in other languages that I have are not as exciting as, I don't know, like some nice romance or some beautiful fantasy. Mostly because I probably have to buy other ones, right? But I don't know, I just don't want to buy translations, and there are not as many options when the pool is just one language. I don't know. But at the same time, Spanish, like, it's so big. There should be a ton of books, right? I don't know. Anyway, so I have two. One in Spanish, which is Un Cuento Perfecto by Elizabeth Benavent. and it's a romance, but I think it's about the happy ever after. So it's not just them getting to know each other and then starting to be together. It's them already together and then the development of the relationship and how it's not perfect. And I think that's very interesting because we always see like which, I mean, obviously I also like that, just seeing how they get together and stuff, but this would be a good thing. And also nature fluffiness. So this would be a good one. And actually this would be an author that I could potentially, if I love, I could buy many more books of her, because I've seen that she has many different series as well and stuff, so I really want to try her out, so next time I go to Spain I can buy more. And then this one I found on a second-hand shop actually here, and it's in French, and it says Mémé dans les orties, from Aurélie Valognes. And I didn't know about this. Normally I only buy books that I've heard before because I already own too many, so but this one I read the premise, and it's about an old man that is grumpy and cranky, so basically like a cold oath but different and French. And I just really like that type of story of just the basically slice of life type of story and finding beauty and happiness in the small things. And I really like grumpy characters. I don't know. There's something so endearing about a grumpy but very strong-willed and loving deep inside person. I don't know. I like that transformation. Anyway, so this is also another option. I'm not sure which one. I do have others, but I think these are the two ones that I'm most likely to read. That is a lot. I've shown you many books. Doesn't mean I'm going to read all of them, because it's like one contemporary perhaps, one ancient people, like two continuations, I don't know. And who knows how much I'm actually going to end up reading. But if I do feel like reading more, there is one. You're not ready for this one. You're not ready. You're not ready for how beautiful these books are. No. Okay, so I received some book mail of a series that I actually hadn't heard about, and I bought special editions of, which normally is not something that I do, of books that I don't know, because they're expensive, but thank the Lord for my impulsivity. Like, I just, thank you, Rose, for having bought these books, because they might be the most beautiful books I own now. And I have the whole trilogy, and okay, I just need to show you. I'm just gonna go. Okay. It's The Winner's Curse. Don't ask me what it's about. I don't know. I think I read it, but I forgot it. And oops, it's a spoiler. This is book 1. This is book 2, and this is book 3. Aren't they absolutely stunning? They're so beautiful. Look at the backs. There's the horse, and then there's a, I don't know, and then this. And oh my god, so beautiful. So yes, this is a high contestant. So after I finish, I continue my series, and this would be the next fantasy series that I could delve into. So yeah. Hopefully I read this, or at least one of them. Like, this is, they're showing the 3 movies a lot, but one of them, and then I have like 1, 2, 3, let's not be real, I'm probably not gonna read The Witcher, despite my best intentions. So that's 4, this one's small, and then one of this, not this one. I don't know, one of these ones, I'm not sure, maybe this one. That's quite okay. And then there's also only one other thing that I should be reading. Maybe 5. I think this seems okay. It's just either I read like 2 books or 0, or I read 10. I don't know. So it's just like very extreme. Anyway, so there's only another thing that I like doing, which is reading my subscription books the month they come, so that they don't add up, which is definitely the idea that I had when I first purchased them. And then I had a ton of family drama, and I had to move away, no, not move away, but just leave my home for several months, and then some boxes were very delayed, so I ended up receiving like, I don't know, 5 months worth of boxes, or less than that, but several months of boxes at once, and now I'm actually extremely delayed. But since January, when I've finally gone back to normal life, I'm trying to stay completely on top of that, and that's also why I'm reading this one right now. I'm finishing it, which is the January Illuminate one. But for that, I then have this The Ivory Key, which is the second book that came with the Illuminate January box, which is the paperback. Very interesting, which is by Ashaka Rahman, and I'm not sure what it's about. But I think that it follows like the similar type of idea from this one, which is basically taking inspiration from Persian stories and mythology and religion, culture, like stories, to create some sort of fiction from it. So I hope that this is also set in some, I mean, definitely looks Arab setting. I'm really enjoying delving into different cultures and different parts of the world through readings, through fiction, not just reading history or reading, you know, like actual fiction. I think it's much better. So that would be one that I would have to read from January, and then I just received the boxes for the for February. So I would have to read this one, which is the Illuminate one, which is A River Enchanted. And then this, I already know what it's about, but it's A Daughter of Moon and Goddess, which is highly anticipated for me because it's also a retelling of, I forgot, I just have too much information in my brain, but it's a retelling of a Chinese legend reimagined. Amazing. I want to read it and just, and that's it. This one as well, it's very beautiful. Like these books, I'm just over the moon with how beautiful they are. So it would be imperative kind of to also have like read them this month, so that by the end of March I'm up to date and I can read the March books, which arrive at the end of March. I read them in April. Yes. Okay, so I think that's it. I'm just gonna show you the final haul, so you can have an idea of what I'm gonna be reading. I chose the French book instead of the Spanish one just because it's a lot shorter, so I don't want to commit, but who knows. We'll see. Oh. Okay, don't panic, only the paperbacks fell. Oof, but that's very dangerous. Alright, I'm gonna use my chin. Wait. Okay. This one's. Okay, so wish me luck. Bye bye, until next month.